One of our subscribers visited Naga City and said he was approached by a few prostitutes. Do you think prostitution is a big problem here in the Philippines? How do you feel about countries that legalize prostitution? Do you think prostitution should be legalized here in the Philippines?
I think we, we don't need that to legalize it because I think there is 90% of Filipinos are Catholic. So
Is it cheating if your partner was with a prostitute? One of our subscribers visited Naga City and said he was approached by a few prostitutes. Do you think prostitution is a big problem here in the Philippines?
Actually, I think prostitution is a work. It is a kind of work that not so decent here in Philippines, but in other country it is actually not so big deal. It's only big deal here in Philippines because I think we are religious country and not so liberated.
How about you?
How
What do you think about,
How about prostitution? I don't mind prostitution. I mean for me it is a work, and it is a kind of work for other Filipina who think that their body, their face can be their career. So I don't mind prostitution.
okay, how about here in Naga City? Do you think it's a big problem, prostitution?
Um I don't actually think so, since when you look around here in Plaza of Naga City, you can see a lot of prostitute women who sell their bodies for pleasure, and maybe it is kind of alarming when it comes in health, since not just the women can transmit the disease, especially once it is not protected by protections.
Do you think prostitution is a big problem here in the Philippines?
Well, actually, for me, it's kind of neutral because we have to consider a lot of factors. Yeah, I guess so.
It's a yes.
So, not really. Actually, it depends.
Depends to what?
Because
Depends on the situation.
Okay, what kind of situation?
I think some women like tinitake yung job na yon for their own, like, since ala pwede pa ka,
It's okay. Since what?
since mahirap maghanap ng job dito
Okay.
sa Philippines.
So she said that since it's very hard to find a job, so
So some women like take those jobs to to provide for themselves. And then I think the problem in the Philippines is that we don't have enough jobs for these people. Government's fault, kasi it's their responsibility to provide jobs for these people who are marginalized and doesn't have enough opportunities for themselves, kasi considering these women are like not educated enough and not well sponsored in terms of financial needs. So I think it's not their own choice. I mean, it is, but we should respect them and we should not make a big deal out of it because we aren't affected by it, by their decisions. And their decisions are, I think, it's their own like path in life.
okay. So with your answer, do you think prostitution should be legalized here in the Philippines?
I think no. If we are talking about legal terms, it's the government's decision if what of their actions. So I can't say anything about it because I'm just a student.
Do you think prostitution is a big problem here in the Philippines?
yes, mom, because here in the Philippines they have a lot of cases, HIV and AIDS. So there's a big problem there. So I think some people got this because of the their level of uh, their level of their work, because here it's so hard to find work, and some are forced to get a job and they cannot get, so they are forced to sell their body. So that's why it's a big problem here in the Philippines.
How about here in Naga City? Do you think prostitution is a big problem?
I think, mom, because uh here uh in the Naga, I think they have a big number of cases of HIV.
There are some countries that legalize prostitution. How about here in the Philippines? Do you think we should legalize prostitution?
I think we don't need that to legalize it, because I think there is 90% of Filipinos are Catholic, so they are against the church. So, and it will it will have an impact on the society.
Do you think prostitution is a big problem here in the Philippines?
I think it is one of the problem here in the Philippines because nowadays many women experience violence in their sexuality, and I think we need to address this kind of action, and we should not tolerate this kind of action.
Is it cheating if your partner was with a prostitute?
um I think yes.
How about if your partner told you it was for sexual satisfaction and there's no love and emotion involved? Would you forgive him?
No, it is not valid.
How do you feel about countries that legalize prostitution?
um Here in the Philippines, it is a very conservative country, while in the other country, liberalized. I think it depends on what they anong term dito, kinalakihan or kinasanayan.
How they grow up with,
Yeah.
how they're used to, like, Okay, so how do you feel about that? Is it okay or what?
For me, no, kasi
It's not okay.
yes,
Okay.
because I am a very religious person po. And I used to I used to what they call that? I used to treasure my virginity until I have I used to treasure my virginity because virginity is a treasure to keep, not a treasure to give a gift.
Okay, so that means you have no boyfriend, right?
No.
Since birth? Oh, you had a boyfriend before.
Yes.
And how old are you?
20.
You're single now, right?
Yes.
Do you think prostitution is a big problem here in the Philippines?
I think po nowadays, cause nowadays it's not a big deal anymore with the current generation right now. So I'm not against it, but as much as possible, if we could what do you call that? We could avoid going into that situation. I would not recommend the process.
Why do you think it's not a big deal now?
Uh, with the current generation right now, it's really not a big deal. With body count does not matter anymore. So I don't know, but yeah, I think maybe
It's the generation.
based on my observation, because I went to bar occasionally, and I noticed sometimes things.
How do you feel about countries that legalize prostitution?
I'm not against it, but since we're a conservative country, and I grew up from a conservative family, yeah, I'm not really favor of prostitution.
With our generation, because you said earlier that it's not like a big deal now, do you think it should be legalized here in the Philippines?
If it actually helps with the current situation that Philippines is one of the poorest country, if it helps with feeding your family, yeah, if it helps, it's okay. But as long as it's safe if as long as you're safe with your work, it's okay.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Anyway, how old are you?
I'm 21.
And single?
Yes, single.
I see. Well, anyway, thank you so much for having this interview with us. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, we earned your subscription. And also, if you like our content, please consider becoming a member for exclusive videos. Thank you so much for watching and take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Beautiful reflections